soon as I start filming. There's two hawks above me. You heard that, right?
May we never
Camera?
forget to remember. May we never forget to come back to the center. The essence, spirit, life force. Mother. To this inner knowing, never fading eternally. This is all we are. Eternal. Come back to this place, always. Breathe in the breath of the earth. Breathe in the breath of the sky. Breathe in all that you are. Breathe out all that you are not. Your eyes and see this miracle that is unfolding and shape-shifting and dissolving every single moment new. This
feeling good today. I've been feeling very grounded, very humble, very grateful. And I've also noticed that there was 2 or 3 occasions when I started going in a direction with my thoughts that started putting me in a place of feeling insecure and vulnerable, vulnerable to lower energies that were taking away my joy and my gratitude and my confidence. And because I was able to see that, I was able to stop thinking those thoughts, which stopped bringing up the feelings I was feeling. And I'm grateful I was able to do that, because I am now getting to a point where I'm able to see where my patterns start rising and playing out, so that I'm able to not conceal or shut them out, but look at them and see them and be with them until I'm able to so consciously and intentionally shift them from a place of lucidity, like I'm here choosing to do something different. Speaking of doing something different, society has recently collapsed. And although the news and media makes it seem like the world is in chaos, and I mean there is chaos, but all is chaos, like it's really hard for me to talk about anything because everything's a paradox. But I'm just going to speak anyways. So, I don't know, when I look outside and I see the sun out and the trees and the plants starting to grow and flourish and bloom, I think like the world is in really good condition, like the earth, and probably is really grateful and really taking this opportunity to heal and regenerate all that she can, so that she can continue to humbly allow us a place to live, to come into existence on. Like if it wasn't for this earth, this ground, then none of us souls would be able to manifest in this earth, in this form, which is just a vehicle. But the Arcerians, there are these spirits that are communicating with us at this time to start reconnecting and making a deep, loving relationship with our body, like this thing that carries us from place to place. Like if I am in my mind all the time, which I know very well what that's like, then see, I'm in my mind right now. It's because it's getting hard for me to communicate because I started thinking too much. But the trick of speaking for me is not even thinking about what I'm going to say and just letting something come out. Like all of this, no idea what I'm saying. But then I start to think about what I'm saying. Anyways, so yeah, I was in meditation actually for like 2 hours. I was painting my nails. Oh, I missed this one. I gotta sparkle it up. Self-care, you know? Loving the body. And yeah, so I painted my nails and then like sat in meditation for about an hour, 2 hours, especially because I kept accidentally bumping them, moving around. When my nails are wet, it really shows me how hard it is for me to sit still, because then, yeah, I just, yeah. There's this silent meditation that calms me down, but then there's this spoken meditation which kind of just gives me information that I want to hear from inside. I don't know if that makes sense. But through these videos, I'm already noticing like certain phrases and certain things I say that are unconscious and habitual and coming from my unconscious. Things like, I'll say, I don't know if that made sense. So that's showing me I have a desire to be clear and coherent, have a sense of understanding and a sense of being understood. So that's what that pattern phrase has taught me. And then I also say, yeah, I don't know. I say I don't know a lot because, well, I think that's a desire of me wanting to know, wanting to have answers, but also my fear of being told I'm wrong, being told I'm inaccurate, being told, just being not accepted, I guess. Yeah, not being accepted. So yeah, this is helping me keep track of my spoken patterns so that I could learn how to communicate what my heart and not even my mind. My mind is a tool, but my mission is my heart. My mission is love. My mission is being in gratitude, seeing the abundance everywhere, honoring the body, honoring others, honoring this world. Like, I'm still learning how to operate this in my own being, like as often as possible. And especially recently, I thought that I was very far from that place because a lot of my old subconscious wounded self patterns were coming up. But as I listened to channeled messages, I began to see that I began to understand, have a clear understanding that this is happening on an individual and collective level. Like, we are going through a purging timeline. We are shifting. We are going through different dimensions. And it's so interesting because when I was on the East Coast living with my cousin, she had me see this acupuncture. I can't recall her name at this moment, but in the session I had with her, she was seeing into my future. Now that I look back, I see that that's what it was. I was telling her about what a hard time I was having and how I was feeling all of this, like this build up towards something. And she said something along the lines of, like, she laughed a little and she said, "It's not easy traveling through multiple dimensions." And I didn't understand that when she had said that. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I'm going through different dimensions. And then as the months have passed by and I have had the experiences that I've had and the new awarenesses that I've had and new information coming in, like, I now understand, like, that's what's been happening. And what is happening is that there are layers and layers of, like, dimensions, timelines, alternate universes, perceptions, ways of being and seeing and feeling about what's happening in the world and what's happening within ourselves right now. And it's kind of like one of those games you play that has different ways of playing, and depending on the choices you make and the things you say and the people you meet, like, you know, that determines the certain ending of your story. And that's what we're experiencing right now, is like, what are we choosing? Individually, with families, collectively, relationships, and are we going to be strong enough and conscious enough to bring the darkness and our negative habit and thought patterns up to the surface, to where we could see them, confront them, be with them, deal with them until we're ready to let them go and embody a new way of living. I
hate what people like your clients stand for. We're going to prove once and for all.
When I have music on, it helps me not think too much, because then there's like something in the background. There's more I wanted to say. Oh yeah, so it is my dream to be a facilitator of freedom, and I do have idols and examples that I look up to, because I found them after I had the vision of wanting to be this type of facilitator. When I was in the East Coast, I experienced going to conscious gatherings, little festivals. I've never been to big festivals, but I've been to the little ones where there's like fire dancing and lots of art and beautiful music, and people dress up and they're weird and wild and just so free and, you know, connected to their child self, but also looking for deeper meaning in life and in themselves and in each other. And I just loved this culture that I just love this culture that I found, and I haven't experienced being like so deeply a part of it yet, but just the taste that I got showed me like I want to be a part of this movement, the movement of festivals and art and music and medicine and earth, and just like the movement of returning to ourselves, returning to this earth, returning to one another, returning to our truth, to our child, to our elders. Like, why are we putting elders in group homes? One of my best friends is working in a nursing home and is worried about them being alone and not socializing, especially because they're older and they forget things. And you know, like this whole quarantine, coronavirus, whatever is happening, that's being told is happening, because really we only know what's happening around us. Like, we do have sources of information, but these sources of information have been just listen to your intuition. Like, what do you feel? What feels good for you? I don't have the answers. Oh yeah, so I kept thinking I wanted to facilitate gatherings with people my age, because when I went to these groups, they were people my age, older, and now I'm thinking, after listening to a channeled message about how we need to honor the children, the future of this planet, like, I want to create a camp. Yeah, I want to create a camp. A conscious camp. Conscious camp for kids. Conscious camp for kids. Conscious camp for kids. I'm thinking of a name because I have this sense, I have this feeling, I have this vision, like, inside of my bones and blood, DNA, like, it's in me, and like, I just want to start putting it into the physical, whether that's with my words, making a title, like thinking of the activities we would do, and the skills we would need to learn. Like, I'm thinking gardening, growing food. I don't even know how to garden and grow food, but I strongly feel and know that all of us should know how to garden and grow our own food and find our own food, and we should be able to identify plants and animals, and not to label them, not to put them in a category, but to understand them so that we have more comprehension of the world around us, so that we're able to use the magic of this realm. Like, I don't even know what type of trees these are, what their qualities are, what are their weaknesses, what are their strengths, what do they give to the atmosphere, what do they give to us, what is happening beyond what my eyes and ears can hear and see. And I think that those are the types of things that I would want to dig into with children. And honestly, I think I would be more comfortable being a leader for children than my peers, because I'm still, especially now, working on healing my connection with others my age and stuff, because growing up I was bullied a lot, and I just didn't know how to communicate myself, and didn't know how to have the relationships I wanted to have, and felt unworthy of connecting with people, and sometimes even felt too good with connecting with people if I was in a place of judgment. Like, just me and connection. I'm exploring that self. And I know that I'll probably need to heal that before I become any kind of leader. There's a lot I need to learn. There's a lot I need to learn before I become a leader. See, but is this my insecurity speaking, or I don't know. I'm just gonna listen to my intuition. Slow down, take some deep breaths, and all the time in the world. And I am being guided. We are all being guided through this. I really believe that. I gotta believe that there's so much I believe, so much that I know, that I'm still learning how to embody and be like in practice of, because knowledge, skills, all that there is a practice. While living at the ashram, they focused a lot about this. Like, everything we do is a practice. And it's a practice because it will never be perfect. And in making our practices conscious, we make them sacred, more special, and more powerful. It's a fine balance, though. It really is the middle way. And the balance is constantly changing. So yeah, I'm gonna keep on brainstorming on this, but I want to, and I don't want to be the only leader. Like, I just want to be a part of this happening, where we start to truly learn and embody divine, higher conscious, healthy, exuberant, bright, luminescent beings that we are. Like, I just want to see us all glow and shine and sparkle, and I know that there will always be contrast, but I just feel like there's been a lot of ugliness, a lot of hatred, a lot of violence, a lot of abuse. Like, there's a lot of shit in the world that shouldn't be happening, should never have happened, but maybe that's my human self saying that, and then like my soul self knows that all this darkness has been happening for a reason. I don't know. What's that thing again about? Should I try to put reason on this life, or is it better just to be completely in the unknown? Again, there's a balance. I don't know. I'm still learning who I am. Don't know how I got here, but maybe I do. It's like neurons being fired in every direction. It's so hard for me to communicate my soul, my mind. I hope that as I do this more, I get more comfortable with just like letting whatever comes out needs to come out, so that I can start to be more intentional with it. Because I know, like, it's magic. Picking up a pillow is magic. Abracadabra, example A. Like, I have so much of my joy comes from moving things around, making a space, an environment, a feng shui, an atmosphere. And so I would want to combine my love for that with my love for wanting to evolve and develop and learn and be with others, be in community. Like, I love being by myself. I actually have spent a lot of alone time in my life. Never really had a lot of friends, but I do have a lot of people that I love and that love me. And it doesn't feel that way because I have these energetic, or I have had these energetic walls up around me saying, like when I left Idaho, I literally like left everyone, everything I thought I knew, and I was going for an intention of completely erasing who I was, who I have been, and my plan was to create a new person, be someone else, like become perfect, almost. Like, that was my distorted, I didn't know that then, but now I see this, that was like my distorted core wound of like, I don't like myself, and I'm gonna disappear from everything I understand and appear somewhere I know nothing and become reborn. And as beautiful and poetic as I thought it was back then, like, I now see the distortion in it, but then again, like, I'm so grateful I did it. I'm so grateful it happened because I learned so much from it and have so much more understanding of the psyche and consciousness and the body and energy and the world around me. Like, there's so much, and I want to dive deeper into all of this information. I want to cultivate it within myself and be able to share that with the children of the future, the children of today. Children of today are us, and I know, at least for me, I feel pretty fucked up sometimes. I'm like, why am I this way? Like, just, you know, like, as humans, we all have our issues, each and every one of us. And even if we look at someone and think, oh, they have it good, like, I'm sure that there's something in their life that they're dealing with. Like, we all are human, we're all dealing with things, and so it would be really cool to know how to cultivate being in a space where both I can hold space for others and they can hold space for me and we can hold space for each other. And holding space is not giving advice. It's not like saying it's okay or that's not okay or agreeing with everything you say. It's just genuine presence, listening, being real, you know? And I feel like I may have experienced a lot of surfaced connections, like both me on the surface and other people on the surface, but maybe because we've been living in a surface level world for so long and now we're diving deep, and so our connections and our way of life will become more deep. And so yeah, that's all for now. My throat, it feels so open, but like, if I start listening to my body more, my stomach feels like it's hungry, but I don't know if what I know about hunger is true. I hear that like when you feel that feeling, it's like parasites inside of you or something. So like, I want to know I think that as soon as my body's like really loving what I'm eating all the time and like my schedule of eating, that's when my mental clarity will come in a bit stronger. Let's see, what did I eat today? I drank a glass of water and then a glass of green formula. I hit my CBD pen like 3 or 4 times since waking up. Yeah, I haven't really eaten that much, have I? I was like trying to think, like, did I eat any fruit? No, I shouldn't eat an orange. I'll eat an orange. Oh, I had some almonds. But like, I want my life to become more oriented around food. Like, I've been orienting it around lifestyle and quality, and as in lifestyle, I mean like environment, because it's really important for me to have like a clean, functionable environment. But food is like just as important, probably more important, but it's always been a hard place for me to focus just because yeah, this is where I need to do the work. Diet is everything. It's such a beautiful day. I really love this blue, orange, teal filter and how it makes the world look. I just love that color. It looks like I'm in the tropics. We got Frosty from the vet today. He seems to be doing a lot better. He wasn't able to go to the bathroom, but he got liquidated and he feels a lot better. His medications. My brother is the cat's dad, so he's doing a good job taking care of Frosty. It's a good cat. My dad went through the stuff of my grandparents that was in the RV today, and I helped clean and organize everything with him. So it's pretty cool to know that everything that was in here is either donated, thrown out, or sorted, and not just somewhere. It feels really good to do that kind of project, and I feel like it helps ground me, and I'm actually really enjoying it. I told my grandmother that sometime soon, when she feels inspired, for her to ask me to come over so I could help her move furniture around, clean up a little, help her rearrange things, whatever she needs to make her house and living space more functionable and enjoyable for her, especially since she's so old and she does so much for us. Like, she makes my family dinner like every day, and although it's not like the food that I idolize, it's better than fast food, and at least she's doing it with so much love. It's hard to say no to her food. But at some point, when I'm educated enough and have been practicing knowing what I eat, when I'm reading about juicing and the nutrients her body actually needs, like, right now I'm still very unaware. It's been something I've been avoiding, but I'm actually looking at it now and knowing that it's so important. So working on my diet, but yeah, started building the big fireplace in the backyard, and I have this little fire stove in front of the RV now, which I think if I have a grill I'm able to cook on it. I'm gonna try that soon. Can also build a fire pit in my grandma's backyard. I'm just so grateful for how much land I have access to. Like, honestly, it's really amazing that I have my parents' house to hang out in and work on and help fix up, and my art studio inside, and my little home outside, this RV I cleaned up, and I'm just getting grounded and settled in it, and it's really amazing. Like, I'm so grateful. Like, the day I started working on this project, like just cleaning it up, it came out of nowhere. Like, when I first got back to Idaho, I didn't have a room ready for me. My brother had taken over my old room, and his old room was filled with lots of clutter and junk, and the rooms at my grandma's house are also full of clutter and junk. And so when I first got here with all my luggage, and all my luggage was everything I owned at the time, and so there wasn't a space for me. I didn't unpack for like a few days or a week. So my first question was should I clean out and move in the RV? Should I fix up my brother's old room and live in there? Or should I fix up one of my grandma's room? I actually initially tried to keep living in my tent like I was in the Bahamas, but it was freezing cold, so that did not happen, and it was raining a lot, so I ended up taking my tent down. But as it gets warmer, honestly, I'll just go camping with my tent, because, like, what's the point of pitching it here if I have the RV? Because the RV is, like, almost camping. But, yeah, I'm just really grateful for all the land I have access to. My parents' front yard, backyard, my grandma's front yard and backyard, like, and Idaho is beautiful. Like, I am loving the spring weather. Like, the air is so fresh and it feels so good. The slight breeze, but the warmth of the sun. Like, today it was really hot, but there was like a cool breeze, and it just feels really good. I love the atmosphere right now outside. I love the atmosphere outside and inside today. It's been good. I'm still thinking about the conscious camp for kids and how how I would love to facilitate young mind and hearts into the 5D Earth, which honestly children are already integrated in that level of consciousness and paradigm. And I think that it's us older ones to just help continue to keep that alive, because in our current way of society we kind of have killed that multi-dimensional level of children's imaginations and experience. Like when we're first born into this world, like we don't place judgments everywhere. We're not taking anything seriously because we're just born and we're new in this world, and we're like easily fascinated and curious and questioning everything because the world is really miraculous and interesting, and you see that more through the eyes of a child. So I think that the Conscious Camp for Kids is just going to be something that isn't trying to make them anything, but is there as an aid to support, inspire, educate, like give a place for the children to have access to the tools, mentors, and mentors and resources that they would need to thrive in whatever they're interested in, you know? Like when we're born, when we're young especially, I mean, our intuition speaks and we do the things that we love. We play just to play, and we don't have to overthink how we're gonna play, we just have fun. So children naturally go towards what they enjoy and love, and if us older ones are able to recognize and see their gifts and potentials and interests and support that, instead of telling them they need to learn something or get a certain job or make money or I don't know, just this vision is still in the works, like very much so. Got some brainstorm and what are those bubbles upon bubbles? got some graphs informed. I'd really like to organize this more and more. And you know, although I'm having this idea now, I don't think that I actually want to pursue this on the level I'm thinking of until years and years later. Like this is a little seedling. And what I'm intuitively feeling in my heart and soul right now is to start chilling out. Like don't worry about making money. Worry about enjoying my life. Like these are my 20s. I'm so young. I have so much life to live still and explore, people to meet, things to do. Like this is still I'm still learning. Like I want to do programs, I want to do work trades in other countries and learn how to farm and learn about permaculture, learn how to build sustainable houses, tiny houses, and just I have a lot of skills to learn and a lot of knowledge to integrate, download from all that this world has to teach me. And I will do that through lots of traveling, lots of reading, lots of mentorships and programs and groups and communities. Like, I just gotta stop being so serious and just hang out and be myself and live life. And at some point, when things flow and when I feel really inspired and called, and I'm sure I'm gonna be learning like all the skills and things I'll need up to that, but I could envision myself when I'm an older woman and have myself, my life and relationships more figured out. Then I'll be able to hold space and help other families, individuals, and most of all the children. And I'm excited, but I'm also present and I'm here and I'm really enjoying what's happening now. Like, my brother said something really wise the other day. He said, yeah, some things might frustrate you about our family and about the way we live or eat or whatever it is, but he says what helps him is he always remembers that one day, one day, years from now, who knows when, it could be sooner than later, it's all just going to be a memory, everything we're experiencing now. And I mean, it's common knowledge, common wisdom, but it it really struck me in a way that I needed to hear. Because he's right, like all this is gonna be a memory, so might as well enjoy every single moment, especially because that goes for this very lifetime and existence and experience. Like, so if that's the case, I want to do my best to take care of this body and my heart and my mind to the best of my ability, and in doing so also support and hold space for other people's heart and souls. And that is all for now. I know that was an abrupt stop, but I'm suddenly inspired to do something else.
Every one of us is a living matrix of life force energy. The state of our energy affects the way we think, the way we feel, and the way we love. And it can also work the other way around. The way we think, the way we feel, and the way we love affects the state of our energy. The first step to becoming skilled at working with your life force energy is to be able to sense and feel your chi. Now, you already know how to do this. You do this every day. You know if you feel tired, and you know if you feel energized and vitalized. So this language of energy is a very natural language that our body speaks, and there are so many different ways to experience energy. So today we are going to learn a new language of energy together. This is the language of, so find a warm, comfortable place. You want to make sure that the floor is not cold and not too hard. So you could go outside on the grass if it's a beautiful day. Put on some comfortable clothes, qigong clothes, and join me. Let's move some qi. Begin standing with your feet shoulder width apart. Place both hands over your lower abdomen and bring a smile to your face. The simple act of smiling does so many wonderful things for you. Smiling sends a message to the brain to relax and connects us to the unconditional love in our hearts. Bring your hands back to the center. Release your hands down to your sides. And again, just notice how your hand is on the couch. Shake the tree.